Hey, man, I can't believe SpaceX let me actually settle in the HLS mock-up that they have outside of Mega Bay 1. Oh, look, they gave me a laptop. Nice. Oh, what is this, a MacBook? Oh, this is nice. Okay. Uh, man. What? Oh, hi. It's been a bit, and yeah, welcome to my new setup. I contacted SpaceX a little while ago and asked if I could take up base in the HLS mock-up, and actually, very surprisingly, they said yes. So, yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I got these huge, huge things behind me. Like, I got these huge other windows on both sides, like a door right there. I wonder what's. Hello? Oh, that's not ominous. Okay. Um, the layout. The layout of these things over here, weird. Yeah, they're like it's curved. They're like slanted to the side. That's weird. Yeah. Uh yeah, I don't know what to do. Hey, what's this? Is this a tower model? Oh, it's a tower and an OLM model. Huh. Wonder why they would have left this in here. Wonder if there's anything else in any of these drawers. Hmm. This looks like a Booster 4 model. Wonder if I'm just supposed to. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that would make sense. I don't see why else it'd be here. Why would they give me an scooch out of the way so I can actually open this drawer? Ship model. I'm gonna presume that this is. I don't actually know what ship this is. It's not like the first gen ships, and it's not. I'm obviously not a V2 ship, but it doesn't look like a first gen either. Maybe this is one of the .5 variants, like ship. Maybe it is ship 20. I wonder, can these interlock? Let's see. Oh, look at that. They can. Neat. I wonder why they would give me a booster 4 and a ship 20 model. Hmm. Attention all SpaceX personnel. Please head to ship 20 for its final send-off before scrapping. Thank you. Okay, that was random. Wonder if they want me to tell what would have happened if ship 20 and booster 4 flew. Well, I don't have anything else to do, so let's do that. We're going to be talking about in this video today what would have happened if if ship 20 and booster 4 actually flew and weren't replaced by booster 7 and ship 25 or ship 24. I think it was ship 24. So, welcome to the very first and inaugural exploration investigation. You see, Booster 4 and Ship 20 were Block 1 prototypes, or as the Starship community calls them, Block 0.5, because they weren't really the Block 1 variant that we saw on Ship 24 and Booster 7, but they weren't no block at all, so they were Block 1 or 0.5. Built from thick-walled stainless steel in cylindrical sections, the Starship Super Heavy booster B4 was about 71 meters tall and 9 meters in diameter, while the Starship Upper Stage, Ship 20, was 50 meters tall, but same 9-meter diameter. Together, they would span roughly 120 meters and mass on the order of 4 to 5,000 metric tons at liftoff. B4 carried 29 Raptor 1 engines. The original Methalox full-flow stage combustion Raptor engines produced 1,815 kilonewtons of thrust each. In total, they would generate roughly 11.9 million pounds of force at liftoff, easily exceeding the 34 meganewtons of Saturn V's first stage. The arrangement followed early design, the outer 20 engines being fixed, fueled, and ignited on the pad, and the inner 9 engines were gimbaled for flight control. Notably, Booster 4 received one of the first grid fins of the Starship series, permanently fixed in the extended position to steer during descent, unlike Falcon 9, of course. B4's dry mass was on the order of 160 tons, with about 3,400 tons of liquid oxygen and liquid CH4, but Ship 20 was also a Block 1 vehicle, a 9-meter wide stainless steel craft with 6 Raptor 1 engines, 3 optimized for sea level and 3 optimized with a larger nozzle for vacuum, which, as of this point, we had never seen before. It carried the methane and liquid oxygen tanks separately by domes, with a heat shield and aerodynamic flaps. In fact, because S20 was intended to reach space, unlike early hop test starships, its entire windward side was cladded in heat shield resistant tiles. Its empty mass was roughly 120 to 150 tons. Fully fueled, it could exceed 1,200 tons of propellant, giving it a theoretical payload to orbit LEO on order of 100 to 150 tons, as SpaceX's baseline design assumed. Guidance and avionics would follow SpaceX's usual architecture, an integrated navigation system aided by star trackers and radars with redundant flight computers and controllers and thrusters, all of that great stuff. Starship had no parachutes or fins. Attitude control and ascent would come from the vectoring engine thrusts and aerodynamic flaps on the ship. In sum, B4 and Ship 20 embodied the big dumb rocket ethos. Massive thrust and mass interchange from simple, rugged steel construction. Its Block 1 configuration, however, also carried known limitations. Its Raptor 1 engines were heavier and less thrust efficient than later Raptor 2s, and were just a little bit less reliable. Anyways, and early Starship tanks used ablative gaps that required more insulation, but on paper, the stack would sufficiently power. According to don't know how to pronounce that. The fully stacked vehicle would have likely weighed about 4 to 5,000 tons and been able to produce around 5,400 tons of thrust at liftoff. At the time, B4 and Ship 20 were stacked late July, early August 2021. SpaceX's Boca Chica launch site, dubbed Starbase, was barely complete. A new launch mount, Stage 0, had just rolled out, but much of the launch tower itself was unfinished. For example, the tower's rocket-catching arms were not yet installed, and indeed, Starship Sky Crane catch had never been used even later on. Although they did use the crane to be able to bring the chopsticks themselves up and down, but that's a story for another day. Elon Musk himself noted on Twitter that leveling the Stage 0 mount was a priority in early August of 2021. In practice, This meant that while the immense 370-ton launch table was in place, the tower could not yet support a true launch stack. In August 2021, SpaceX had two concrete pads planned: a suborbital pad, Pad A, for use for hop tests and partial trials, and an orbital pad, Pad B, for full flights. Booster 3 was finished testing on the suborbital pad, so initial plans had B4 go there for cryogenic proof testing and a short static fire. Only then would it move to Pad B for a 29-engine static fire test. But key Pad B elements were still months from completion, as NASA Spaceflight reported. A lot of work remains before a booster can be tested on Stage 0. The tower was still to be finished. In short, Starbase in mid-2021 was a construction site. Its plumbing, electrical, and launch systems were only just being validated by the first full-stack cryogenic proof tests. In fact, the first full-stack test, mostly with liquid nitrogen, was in itself partly a test of Starbase's plumbing. Plumbing some 1,200 tons of LN2 upward through hundreds of meters of piping. Interestingly, however, B4 and Ship 20 themselves never experienced a dramatic failure, simply because they never fired as a complete vehicle. Booster 4 never performed any engine testing, which thank God it didn't, and Ship 20's test campaign ended with a pad integration check. The Starship SpaceX website confirms static fires none for B4. Ship 20 did conduct 4 full engine static fires, including 2 with all 6 Raptor engines ignited, as a separate upper stage, completing its qualifications by late 2021. All of these static fire tests on Ship 20 succeeded. However, the Starship program had already revealed many hazards. By mid-2021, engineers knew that their massive cryogenic tanks and COPVs, composite overwrap pressure vessels, could be finicky, that engine startups could ignite small fires, and the rapid cryogenic fueling needed careful choreography. SpaceX's first orbital flight on B7 and Ship 24 in April 2023 would later show issues. Elon Musk admitted that the Starship's Flight Termination System, FTS, had troubles detonating the tanks quickly. Another red flag came from the neighboring tests. On July 11, 2022, the Super Heavy Booster 7 exploded in its aft section after a spin prime test. Engine plumb signs tests nearly caught fire at the launch site. Such incidents taught SpaceX that even small anomalies, a LOX valve seizing, a COPV failure, a stuck engine, could produce immense explosions. The team expectedly warned in March 2022 that static firing a full stack B4 and Ship 20 would be uncharacteristically risky, since an uncontrolled fire could easily risk the catastrophic destruction of both stages and months, if not years, of pad repairs. What else? Starship avionics had its own growing pains. Now, let's imagine SpaceX did go for the launch. In a best-case scenario, B4 and Ship 20 would follow the intended trajectory guidelines from later flights. All 29 of B4's Raptor engines would ignite at T-0 seconds, producing a thunderous roar and quickly lifting the 5,000-ton rocket off the pad. The vehicle pitches over as it climbs, throttling as needed to pass max Q, or maximum dynamic pressure. It ascends through Texas's tropical skies, racing towards the stratosphere. At roughly 3 minutes and 50 kilometers in altitude, just a guess considering with later flights, stage separation occurs. The 13 inner engines of B4, the only ones capable of restarting, shut down, and the 16 outer fixed engines keep burning, just long enough to push the stack to 50 or 60 kilometers. Then, hopefully, a clean stage separation. B4 falls away, 9 of its center engines reignite for the return leg, while Ship 20, full of 3 vacuum-optimized Raptor engines and 3 sea-level engines, continue to space. In the best-case scenario, B4 performs a textbook re-entry burn and then attempts to splash down in the Gulf of Mexico, now considered the Gulf of America. similar to what B9, B12 eventually did. Its giant grin fins and plunge profile slow it somewhat, and it touches down in the water without blowing up. Probably. A perfect test of Booster's recovery, though at Booster 4's Block 1 design, there was no catch, so splashdown or water destruction was planned. Ship 20 reaches the upper atmosphere and then performs a belly flop re-entry. In the best case of the 2021 Block 1 expectations, Ship 20 might survive re-entry and splash gently, though in practice all Block 1 ships later burned up or exploded on descent. Even if the ship was lost, the mission could be deemed as a partial success, proving liftoff and stage separation. Remember, early hopping starships never reached space at all. Whew! That was a lot of information all at once. Holy cow! I've already used a lot of time. Okay, well, I don't have very much left. In the... Oh, they're gonna be coming at some point trying to, get me out of this place. So, yeah, I didn't realize how much time we burned. So, we're gonna make this two parts. The next part we will be discussing other topics. I will actually tell you right now the other ending or the worst case scenario, potential consequences and fallout if that would have happened. Why SpaceX held back on flying the two, and the legacy of Booster 4. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I wanted to try something new. Please let me know if you enjoy this. I am honestly very stoked to actually be able to get this out, and I've worked on this for a while. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button to let the YouTube algorithm know that I am doing good. If you would like to support me and just my future rocket career and the future of this channel, um, please consider subscribing and comment down below what exploration investigation would you like to do. Huge thanks to NASA Spaceflight and Lab Padre and all the other people I used footage of for this video. And thank you to Zach Golden from CSI Starbase for giving me the inspiration to actually do this type of video. And I will see you guys next time. This is Matthew from Space Exploration. Peace, guys.